In reality, only a select few individuals hold the power of influence. Not a pounce over a luxury item never to be owned, but real influence over police, governments, and even clandestine fraternities. My true story is so controversial that I invite you to comment and even question my integrity. Episode 23, How Madness Results in Chaos, abbreviated HMRC. It's frustrating. People fabricate stories against you, make things up. Why? Damage reputation, stop you progressing with your life, the things you love, the things you want to do, those you want to care about. It seems that too many times when people have just not had the bollocks, let's say it, to fight fairly, they resort to any means, grasping, informants, misplacing allegations. I'm looking to the sky. No, not hope. I'm looking for that fucking bomb again. It's got to be coming. It really has got to be coming now. Things are too good. When I say too good, they are too good. One last look around, I can't hear it. Silence, stealth, silence. What is it? How's it going to come for me this time? You know, when you're thinking there's something coming, that's one thing. When you're told you're being watched constantly by all the police forces, that's something else. All right, let's put this aside. Let's try and make enough headway so that I can see off any of this rubbish. Oh, hang on. There's another letter. This time, it's from the lawyers of the private members club, Home House. It's an important place. Again, I won't read the letter, but the gist of it is, the Home House want me to stop my business, the Home Club, because they say it's too close a name. It's too close to their business. Passing off. Hang on a minute. You must be illiterate. Home House, the Home Club. One physical private members club, one online community. Perhaps what was going on in the world was when everyone's buzzing around the Home Club, someone has said, oh, you mean Home House? No, forget Home House, the Home Club. I don't know what was going on, but something prompted them to have their lawyer make these threats. Now I won't rattle on about it, but least to say, they never followed up on it. Most people don't. They make these nonsense claims and they fuck off. Anyway, Home House decided that they wanted to have a little pop at me. Now, whether they fucked off or they wanted to come back later was there to be seen. But would they do it themselves or would they do it covertly? Anyway, thinking too much now. Fuck it, they're not answering. They're fucked off. Or so I thought. It was St. Patrick's Day and an old family history of Ireland, County Wexford, where my family originated from as I hear it. So I was then surprised, whilst deciding where to go, to receive an invitation from Michael, you'll remember, Lord Buckmaster Brown, back to the London Capital Club. He said he'd invited a number of his security contacts and wanted to meet with me. All right, I said, oh, let's meet up. So I went down earlier in the morning. As I walked through the entrance door and to the reception, I was pointed to the further double doors and into the main bar area where on the right was the round table, Buckmaster Brown and a couple of others. The table would seat up to 8 people. As I say, it was building 2-3 hours. I think I was there around 10:30, I think, when I think about it now. 10:30, I got there. Michael's contact came in and we began discussing the Home Club and my interest in online personal security and protection for our members. So then Buckmaster Brown started saying, how many members do you have? I said, well, we haven't got the platform up yet, but we've got over 1 million contacts on our database who we will invite into the club. I've got a Synergy that are contracted to build this platform and we're going through the process. Now, it's just a basic website up there, and it is basic. I mean, he's recording some of the hits on the site or the site visits, whichever you call them, and we're progressing from there. Fantastic. Let's celebrate to that great news. Michael shouted, fucking jumped up. All right, let's do it. Yeah. I'm going to get you someone over here right now who's going to promote the Home Club. I'm going to get him. He's over here. He's a very, very senior media executive. Let's go downstairs and have lunch. And just before we were about to go downstairs, in came Mark Moody. Now, Mark Moody was the social editor of OK magazine. As he's walked in, he's gone up to Buckmaster Michael and said, so this is what you've dragged me out of the boardroom for, is it, Michael? And he leant over and shook my hand. Now, it just seemed a little unusual in the way it's like, almost like it was staged. But anyway, nothing to worry about. Who the fuck is he? Just come and shook me hand. I know who he is. come and join us in the basement. Let's have a great lunch. Let's have some beer. What would you like? A beer, champagne? What would you like? A beer. Let's have a beer. I don't drink Guinness. Let's have a beer. Let's have some Jack Daniels. Let's have whatever you want to have. So we went downstairs and started celebrating. We're eating with Wagyu beef and fucking knows what. It was a very good restaurant, actually. And we'd ate there obviously previously with Lord Leakins and others. As we were eating away and drinking away, and they were very intent on what I'm talking about. Mark Moody pipes up. I would naturally like to lead any media and PR on your club, and Michael may like to be the chairman if you'd let him. Oh, round the table, I fucking like the cranks. Hang on a minute. Did you just say you want to come in and fucking take all the media and my media business, or you want to be the chair in this business? You don't even fucking know me. But Master Brown pipes up. Oh, you'll be lucky. Everyone in the city of London wants me to be on their board. I can't run my own companies. I said, I thought, fuck it, I'm going to play it. I'll try them out. I said, oh, thank God for that, Mike. I said, because fucking hell, I don't know if you could give up all your businesses to run my business. I didn't say that, he went, bubbling away. I could get people to run my companies while I come and have a look at yours. I thought, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't even know me. You don't even know this business. What are you talking about? Fucking all your big businesses, multi-security businesses, it's world, City AM, all the fucking deliveries for their papers. You want to give all that up on a fucking chance meeting and a few drinks to fucking run my business, chairman? What the fuck are you talking about? Mark Moody, the social editor of OK Magazine, wants to run the media. He guards up. Okay, well, whatever you want, whatever you feel right. I'm just saying, I'm always offered lots of things in the city of London. Everyone loves me. My name goes away. Imagine having a lord on your board. Bubbling around like fucking, oh no. Fucking cranks are doing. Anyway, we went back upstairs, back to, Michael's round table, where Mark was almost as drunk as the rest of us. He's been drinking, as we all had for a few hours now, at speed. The food helped, but we were pissed. Michael carried on rambling and bubbling. Darren, if the home club required the benefits of, say, myself and Mark and I have others. I have lots of people. And then, as I'm a senior partner of the Sino UK Investment Fund, a £6 billion pound fund based in Beijing, you might get something of that for your club. Fucking around the table. All right, you got me pissed. Now you want to fucking get me to fucking put you in front of the board to run my business, and you promising to bring 6 billion on, some money, let's say not 6 billion, part of that to my club. I said, look, I'll think about it. He was like, fucking what? But there it was. Mark, he thought, fuck it, I'm going to get back in. Can I invite you to some very high profile events? I can invite you to those. You can meet some very high profile people. Really? I said, oh, yeah, you can. I'll invite you. You can go to all of them. VIP, VVIP, any IP you want. All right, let's do that then. I said, send me over fucking invitations or whatever. Look. Now, whilst I'm listening to these two bubbling away, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm a bit overcautious, overly protective of my club. They haven't got to know the names of the people in there. This is business. They just want to know about the earning potential. I have a lord of the realm and the social editor of OK Magazine sitting opposite me, begging to fucking come into my club. Come on, get with it. Darren, you got to fucking get with the program. These people are fucking all over you. They want it. Intuition's sitting there. Be careful, two bubbling little mugs. Fucking be careful. All right, I'll think about it. Look, he said, let me put something on Twitter. He pulled his phone out. Mark Moody. Hashtag the home club is already the talk of the London elite. Have you been invited to join? Where's my invite? What most deterred me from having Mark on board, amongst a few other things, was that I received this long list of events he promised. And it included the following events that stood out amongst the rest. April, BAFTA TV Craft Awards. April, Caitlyn Jenner book launch. May, the Global Gift Gala. May, Cannes Film Festival, opening night. May, Pippa Middleton's wedding. June, Tony Awards. And on and on and on. And the biggest issue for me, alongside each of these events I was sent, was the A-list attendees. The group, all the attendees for these events, including, but not limited to, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, Duke of Sussex, Kim Kardashian, Katy Perry, Rihanna, Adele Atkins. Now, Michael claimed to own one of the largest private security defence companies in the world. and yet was either unaware or ignorant of this sloppy email disclosure, which placed celebrities at a certain place at a certain time. I mean, isn't this a major security risk? Or it was as I saw it. It was for this that Mark had just fucking torpedoed himself out of any future discussion. I mean, who's fucking stupid enough to send anyone a list of all of these high-profile people being at a place at a time? They're out. As I said, the reality here in this luxury world is that some brands, more often than not, are managed by individuals who are just full of shit. They've never had to be trusted to any degree. They don't know how. Neither have they been tested. I mean, it's not their fault. They just want to go work. They want to work for luxury brands. Fair enough. But look at it the other way around. Look at the risk. Luxury brands, wealth, people, wealth, placing their trust into these fucking nobodies. Never have got a fucking clue. Their only interest is to earn out of the wealth. Again, another great insight. The thing is, for me, I was looking at Instagram and others amazing platforms, but it's a numbers game. The brands were more interested in the number of followers, real or not, than the actual, proper, legitimate and verified bona fide fucking people. I've got 5.8 million followers. Alright, I've just been on a site and it says that 40% of them are fucking fake. You bought them. No. I don't know how to get there. Bubble. Rubbish. Alright. I left. Went home. And then I received another email. Michael had invited me to meet with his business partner. Fucking hell, another one. This time it was a Scottish giant, of tech and the senior partner of Exalta Capital Partners. His name was Russell Dalgleish. Now, Michael explained that Russell was the go-to guy for anything tech in Silicon Valley. He'd established contacts with Silicon Valley Bank, SVP and Pivotal Labs, all in his email. I immediately arranged to meet with Russell at the Institute of Directors in Pall Mall. As I arrived, Michael was at the entrance foyer and stood up. Yes, he was a tech giant. He's about 6'7" tall. We sat down. I explained the concept in its basic form to Russell. He already knew. He'd spoken to Puttmaster, of course. Now, Russell fell back in his chair and he said, quote, "Facebook meets Amazon for the uber rich and luxury brands. Fucking love it," in his Scottish accent. It makes perfect sense, he carried on. When you had the events, specifically directed goods and services along with the potential magazine, this is going to be fucking big. What does Michael think of it? He replied. Well, I replied he thought he wanted to join the company board and drive the business. He also added that he was a senior partner of a £6 billion investment fund. Oh, you'll definitely need funding, Russell interrupted me and carried on. Michael has seen the real value of your business, I think, as do I. And I would also wonder if you might consider adding me to the board after, of course, I show you my value and helping you in this early stage. What do you say? I don't really know what to say. When you create something, you know it's good. And then when you get all these people bubbling it all up, I knew it was really good. But you sometimes play it down. Like all these people fucking going mad over it. I was just mean Buckmaster, Dalgleish and fucking Moody. I mean every fucker. Yeah, all on it. I walk into the room at the mansion house, every fucker's on me. The Mel Werrell, Sanderson, bang, everyone. Look, I knew he was making a big play. I had to think about the added value of having Michael and Russell on board. In addition to the brand ambassadors associates, you imagine I've got a supermodel Bond girl, I've got Azak Hakim, I've got fucking the previous founder of Q Travel. He's come on board. Or didn't I mention it? Yeah, he came on board as well. Fuck Lulu and her cohorts right off. Come over to this side, the good side, and joined up. Jeremy Sutton, Russell, I'm going to have to think about all this. I'm grateful for your interest, but I've got to go to another meeting. Let me have a think about it. He stood up, he's fucking aghast. He was like, fucking hell. The next meeting I had was at a private members club in Kensington, the South Kensington Club, to be exact. It was to meet with fashion designer Alexia Mosse, who I'd met previously at the fashion show at Sanderson, a hotel with Wenny. She was showing there along with Gomez Grazia, and I met her and I was having a chat with her. Now, Alexia, again, petite, she's Spanish, a luxury fashion designer, and reading her online profile wouldn't do her the full justice, her character. She's a lovely person. She's very creative, a little eccentric, but I like that. We sat there for a while at the South Kensington Club where she started trying to impress me by telling me of her family, who owned one of the largest media companies in Spain, and her royal family connections, the Spanish royal family connections, which I thought was very open and sweet of her. She said, the home club, she said, could I, get in and I'll bring some people here? I said, well, we'll have to go through a process, but yeah, let's have a conversation about that. Great, she said, let me take you to my favourite Spanish restaurant. And then off we went for a little walk over to Casa Brindisa, I think it was, in South Kensington. We sat there for a while, ate some tapas, some red wine, early in the evening, late in the evening, blah, blah, blah. And I left. It was following one after the other after the other. And as you can probably hear, I'm starting to forget about the Wurlitzer. Looking around, fucking hell, is it here, is it there? There's no sign of it, which is fucking odd. Carried on. Got another invitation. This time invited me to give a talk to the female students at Rodine School in Brighton, West Sussex, the private school. Nicola had set this up as part of the Guild of Entrepreneurs outreach program. Now, I'd spoken to Kaya's friend, Barbara Tomics. Now, let me just tell you how I met her. Right. In my flight to join up with Kaya and her friends, and one of which was obviously Ruti, and it was myself and my brother Paul would attend a yoga class with them in Kensington. Now, after a session ended, I went downstairs to put my shoes on and stuff. And as I'm sitting there, I heard, "Is that you?" from a couple of the women sitting there also changing or putting their stuff down or whatever, or their mat or whatever. But I did it a few times. I said, yes, as I'm saying, they're leaning forward to my neck. Then I knew I was right. Yeah, that's my cologne. That's fucking beautiful. It's the best thing I've ever smelled. Where'd you get that? I said, I can't tell you. I said, but she's on my neck. And then the one on there, and then there's 3 or 4 of them. It's fucking amazing. Where'd you get that? As I'm sitting there explaining this, in came Barbara Tomics. Now, I remember that time. I may have said it before. She was honestly fucking unreal. She's honestly the best looking woman you'll ever fucking see. I'm being fair to her, right? Not taking anything away from the other women I've dated or anything, beautiful in their own way. But if you just to generalise, you were to just look up and go, fucking hell, Barbara Tomics. And I just remember sitting there thinking, fucking hell, Kai, you've got to fucking introduce me to this woman. You've got to. If you don't, I'm going to fucking get out and do it myself. And before I could do anything more, she was explaining or moaning to Kaya about her French boyfriend. Oh, fuck. And what made it worse was Barbara then looked around at me and leant down right into me. As she was coming in, she'd turned her head slightly and smelled my neck as well. She went, oh, that's beautiful. I said, fucking hell, fucking so you, fucking unbelievable. So Kaya then said to me, look, should we go and have a pizza? Boyfriend's going to be here any minute and we'll all go around. Oh, fucking all right, let's do this. So we sat there at a pizza around the corner at a little place. And I couldn't believe it. Fucking this Barbara. She was getting, her boyfriend was just a fucking melt. Proper fucking weren't interested. I couldn't believe it. I had a fuck. Anyway, I'm rattling on. But that's how she gets you. Fucking that's that good looking. The boyfriend left. I said to Barbara, I said, what are you up to tomorrow? She said, not much. Why? I said, how would you like to come with me down the road in Brighton? Brother's going to be there. I'll introduce you to the family. Blah, blah. I'm going to go down and give a speech about being an entrepreneur and fucking, about my life, not too much or anywhere near the posse. I'm fucking scared of poor kids. But saying a little bit funny. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm better on the hoof. Would you like to come? Yeah, I'd love to. It's all right. I'll pick you up. So my brother had bought a Range Rover, so I fucking flew around, picked her up, picked brother up, fucking flew down to Brighton. Now, Nicola was attending another meeting before she set off for Brighton. She was going to give a bit of a talk as well. And we had to be back before, I think it was back in Knightsbridge for 7:30, as I'd also received another invitation from Marcello Mascarello to attend his Grand Cafe restaurant in Knightsbridge for the launch of a selection of Lamborghini wines, accompanied by a fashion show from the men's designer Angelo Galesso. I thought, oh my God, so what I did, I fucking phoned Buckmaster. I said, meet me down at the Grand Cafe, right, about 7:30, 8 o'clock. We'll have a chat down there about all the things you've been talking to me about. And I'll bring Barbara fucking blame you fuck her away. And this, that, and our brother, we have a laugh and fucking chat a few people up and all. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. So we arrived at Brighton Beach looking for somewhere to park in LCP or wherever it was. And then I got a call from a socialite. Oh, good morning. It's Lady Anna Brocklebank here. Nicola has given me your number and asked I make acquaintance. Lovely to hear from you. No, I'm not giving her credit. Deep, plummy English voice. So I'm going to stop that. And I'm just going to put her in when I need to. I could hear her fluttering a bit like a butterfly from one subject to the next. Oh, it's in my days, like the parties, the who's who list of the rich and famous and the sexual innuendos of the people in the news and fucking rattling on. She then went to tell me that she loved the Santa Home Club and asked me to meet her at her home in Corsica. I said, look, I haven't got time to fucking leave London, I'm sorry to say. I said, so can you give me a call when you're back in town and we'll meet up and have a chat, which she agreed to. So Anna had many strings to her creative bow, including, I think at the time she was making a film, or art, or music, and she's got real passion for these things. She sounded a bit eccentric and quite a maverick in her attractive way. She was an old woman, about 70 odd at the time. Anyway, I look forward to meeting her. Nicola texts me. I looked down. It was a brief on today's talks. Quote, Rodin's head of business studies and I have now come up with a solution that will hopefully work for both the school and the guild. The school's theme for this term is adventure. Your first 5 minutes of your presentation should focus on your personal and business adventure. Unquote. Fucking hell, really? Really? Oh, yes, what an adventure they'd be fucking in for if I started talking about that sort of shit. Oh, forget that. I'll think of another adventure perhaps, and then I'll tell that. But I didn't want to do any of that because I just thought, again, I'm better on the hoof, better in the moment. It's all stored in now. Just pull it out when I want. Anyway, I said to Barbara, look, do you want to get some lunch before we go and give this talk? Yeah. Where would you like to go? And she's like looking on the high street, like, bless her, quite humble, like a fish and chip shop. Amazing. I've had the fish and chips in Brighton before. It was stunning. Anyway, we found this little restaurant on the beach called Riddle and Fins. So we went in there and we fucking had a lovely seat in front of the window, looking at the sea and the sand, and we had a champagne mixed sashimi with pickled ginger wasabi, pan-fried Brighton scallops with lemon and parsley, oysters Rockefeller with spinach and Pernod, Bloody Mary oyster shop, pan roast fillet of turbot, confit potato, burnt apple, Asian pear, shiso leaf butter. I'm reading off from my note from the previous meal. To finish off in style, Barbara and I each had a espresso martini and then left for the event. After I found the food and the service, and the ambience, it was stunning. And I called the chef over and I said, look, honestly, I really enjoyed my experience here. And I've got to say that it's as close to Scots of Mayfair as I could tell you. Oh, you'd have thought if I had given him a fucking 3 Michelin stars when he heard that from me. He fucking beamed, fucking hell, being associated with Scots of Mayfair. He fucking loved it. It was true. It was absolutely fucking beautiful food. Anyway, we got into the Rodin car park, looked up at the funny coloured building, squinted a little before turning around looking to see to get our fucking eyes back in the bearing. And then we waited at the reception when the rest of the speakers arrived. Some of them from the guild, but I didn't know them. I mentioned to Nicola that I'd really love B to attend a school like this one day, but I was a bit worried about the boarding side after hearing what Lulu had told me about her experience. Nicola went on and said that talk to me, she's explained the hurdles and the difficulties that would need to be overcome to obtain a place at such a prestigious school. Yet she promised she would speak to her close friend, the school's headmaster, to put in a good word for my daughter. As each of us, freemen of the Guild of Entrepreneurs, took to the stage, we told our different stories about our personal entrepreneurial journeys and tried to inspire the audience of budding female businesswomen and sports stars. I mean, my talk covered the gist of my biography, the same material as appears in this book, albeit the very short and child-friendly version. You can imagine so much of it needed to be redacted. So I included a few jokes of how I rounded up my experiences. I finished my talk by giving the students some tips about what they needed to focus on and left them with a parting message that there was nothing to fear from life. They'll enjoy it. That little giggle to themselves as well. Yes, I thought this was a school that I would like for my daughter. The headmaster nodded to Nicola and then to me and then gave me a wink. I left early and went on to the event in Knightsbridge with Barbara and Paul. As we drove back to London, we were delayed in a bit of traffic. Michael had been waiting for us at the event for an hour and was ready to leave, as the place was packed. I left him there for another hour before arriving. So we decided it was far too busy at this place, and we went on to Juju's nightclub on the King's Road in Chelsea. Kaya was waiting there with some friends because she had been asked to bring the crowd to Juju's. I bought half a dozen bottles of champagne, got pissed, Paul drove, and we left Kaya and Barbara at the club as Michael got an Uber back to Kent, where he lived. For most of my waking hours, as you can imagine, I'm out and about, one event after the other, meeting people, creating plans and schedules for the home club, and deciding exactly how I was going to manage those who were trying to infiltrate the club. Outside of the cybersecurity, my profile was building. People were keen to meet me, offer me things. I'd come out of prison. I shouldn't have been there. I'd come out of prison. I'd walked into morgue. I'd received decoration, the mayoral decoration of the Badge of Honour. I was a freeman of the Guild of Entrepreneurs. I was the president of the Wimbledon Club Social Committee. I was funding the Lord Mayor of the City of London's charities. I was meeting everyone. Invited to every luxury event you can imagine. Brands all over me. Where's that fucking missile? I thought, this is the time. It's now. It's gotta be fucking coming up. I knew that the more interesting the home club became, the more attention was required to protect it. I obviously knew there were so many people out there trying to bring me down. I say that lightly. The government, British government, the police, all of them, CCRC, all of them. So a few people trying to fucking bring me down. I received an email, Sheriff Alderman Peter Estlin, and it set up the information of interest on me bringing this cybersecurity protection to the City of London. I hadn't forgotten, but I hadn't done much about it. As I'm thinking about that, I receive a call from Russell, who wants another appointment with him, and Michael, as they say they've got more options for me to consider. We have made a date, during which I met with Bruce Hasty of Princess Yachts, invited by Barbara. Barbara wanted to get involved. I wanted to get involved with Barbara, don't get me wrong, but she asked me if I had any work for her. I said, look, I'll tell you what, you've invited me to some good people. I think you're trusted, so would you like to be my personal assistant? I'd love to. I'd love to be around you, going to places with you. I'd love to do all this with you. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll be on my game. I'll introduce you to everyone. And that was it. Barbara Tomics became my personal assistant. And you know what? The fucking maddest thing of all, and it happens to me too many times, I have to stop it. As soon as she said those words, it was like a magic wand. I will work for you. Fucking friend zone. My whole body changed. And from drooling over Barbara became, nah, don't Barbara, fucking leave off. One of them. It wasn't like, but you can imagine that's what I'm saying. You know, if she tried, I was like, no, thank you. Honestly, as fucking mad as that. As soon as she said work, done. Friend zone, done, over. All right, I thought, fuck it. And it was like I'd walked into another world with no recollection of how I felt minutes before when I'm looking at this fucking unbelievably stunning woman. Just fucking like a spell. Changed, bang, instant, done, gone. Might as well been a man standing next to me. All right, okay, yes, Barbara, yeah, okay, let's go for a beer. You know what I'm saying? It's funny then, because with this way of thinking, feeling about Barbara, like a friend, like a boss, it's only right, isn't it? I remember walking along Mayfair and Kensington and Knightsbridge, and we'd come out of a restaurant or we'd go to Itzu or somewhere, and I remember as we're walking out, every man, I'm not lying, every fucking man in the street would be walking like a fucking owl. They would clock her, look at her, and then fucking just carry on staring at her, and their necks spinning round and round until they had to move their shoulders to fucking follow the head. I remember having fun looking at her and thinking, fucking hell, I know she's good looking, fucking hell. Anyway, to say to her, like every bloke in this fucking street's on you. She goes, yeah, I know. She said, I've been a model. She said, I know, I'm not being VA, she said. I just know. Yes, we laughed about it. We used to laugh about it. I mean, she'd come up to my apartment every day, eat, drink, relax, chill out with me, jacuzzi, swimming, bikini, fucking, hello, Fred. It's one of them. I was fucking laughing. I was like, oh my word, what the fuck's happening here? It was the same though with everyone I employed. It's fucking friend zone. Don't matter what you think. Bang, gone. A contrast, if you were to say, oh, dating so-and-so, married so-and-so. Oh yeah, so not there. No. It should have been perhaps those women should have said, I'll work for you. And then it would have been none of that fucking playing up shit going, I'll think about that in the future as we go on. And let me get back to this. So Barbara's fucking absolutely dropping dead, stunning. She's taken me to a private event with Lucy Choi, who's a relation of Jimmy Choo. You all know the shoes. And many others anyway took interest in the home club. I went everywhere, all over London, couldn't stop. And now I've got Barbara adding to the events. I've taken Villa into St Paul's for a very symbolic event. Another change to the Lord Mayor of the City of London. And after I left the ceremony, I felt a little buzz on my phone, which I'd placed on silent. I looked down and noticed that a female called Daria was connecting with me, wants to play tennis. I couldn't remember Daria. So I wrote a little message back to her. I can't say I've forgotten who you are. So I said, all right, about 10:30 on the 2nd of April at the Wimbledon Club. I'll collect you from your apartment, which was funny enough, was in Wandsworth, just behind the Southside Shopping Centre. As we got there, Daria's very good looking woman. Russian, right, fucking stunning. Not the one I was before, I couldn't remember where I met her. And as we arrived, baking up day, everyone's out on the grass courts. And as I walked on the court, Adele was playing with 3 of her friends. Now, I had blown Adele out too many times, right, through guilt. Stop it. It is, no, honestly, just stop. I was feeling guilty, and I couldn't go through it, whatever it would have been or not. Perhaps I'm running a bit too fast. Yeah, bringing myself up. It was going to mount to something when it probably just took a hit. You just know that. She's looking, watching me, clocking me all the way across. Daria walking behind me. She could see she's fucking burning. And it wasn't just the midday sun. So we got on court and we were playing around. Daria's gigging away, running around, very fit. But afterwards, I went up to lunch. Adele's followed up with her friends, sitting very close in the bar, but close to the table we was at. So as we're sitting there, waiters come over. He looked at me and he said, "Oh, Dario, I think we must have gone to the bathroom." He said to me, "How the fuck?" He said, "I've seen you in here." He said, "You must have brought 20 women in here, different women. All of them fucking absolutely stunning. Come on, tell me, how you doing it?" I just said, "They all love playing tennis and a bit of the game. That's all it is." And he looked at me and said, "You fuck off." Fucking right. He's just fucking. He was like, I'm being straight with you, like, and I just gave him a flippant answer because I didn't have an answer. It's just fucking one of them, innit? A bit of luck. Anyway, things were going well. I said hello to, obviously, a few times to Adele, who gave a little nod and a cheeky smile, which made me fucking, Anyway, so I think Daria saw a bit of that. She said, Daria said, should we go out one night down at Putney, down the river? We go out. Said it loud so Adele could hear. I saw Adele listening. I said, I'm waiting for the answer. I said, yeah, why not? And I see them all twitching. Anyway, next thing, fucking, we all left, went our separate ways. Email came through out of the blue from Miss Havisham. Dear Darren, thank you for your recent email. You'll be delighted to know that B has been accepted for a place at Rodine School in Brighton. This is an iconic English boarding school for girls that offers her everything she's looking for. And in accordance with your wishes, it's not a Catholic school. She starts in September. Now, I've got nothing against Catholics, but I'm Church of England. If my daughter's going to go to school, it's going to be there. So I thought, fucking hell. It's strange. Fucking strange. Good, but strange. How would Miss Havisham know about Rodine? All right, everyone knows about Rodine. I guess we're looking for boarding schools. There's been no mention of it. She sent me to other schools, Cranley and another. Anyway, great. That's fantastic. I couldn't wonder how the dots were being joined at that time. It took me a while, but I did get there. You'll be pleased to hear. I just want to tell you how I got there. And there's far many more roller coasters to come in this story yet. You have no idea. Anyway, let's enjoy it. Let me enjoy it. Reliving this shit. So, this email, right? It was effectively a technical breach of a court order because I was meant to have input before the school, but I thought it was now in the school, firmly booked in. But I thought, fuck it. I wanted that school anyway. I played tennis more and more and more, and the passion was growing ever more. Barbara was staying with me more often than not, doing some amazing work, chilling out, laughing, joking, having fun, getting to know each other. I used to sit there thinking, if this was before the brain freeze, I'd have been having so much fun. But I just can't even feel it. I just can't. I used to sit there and just look at myself thinking, well, not looking physically, but I was thinking, fucking hell, what happened? I thought I heard a bang. Or was it the Wurlitzer? I received an email from Villa. She and Rick were immediately resigning from their positions with the home club. What? Why? I told her that the home club would uphold their contracts and pay them, even though they were trying for a baby and needed less stress in their lives, or so was the excuse that Villa gave. And yet they're both excused. I thought, that's strange. I'm offering to pay them while they do absolutely fuck all. And they still want to leave. It's very odd. But there was so much good going on that this oddity didn't really resonate. Just one of them, I just took their feelings on face value and let them go. Didn't hold any contract against them. Just went, all right, fair enough. You want to show? You want to get on? Good luck. Just as a pure piece of luck at this time, a female contacted with me on LinkedIn called Karen Louise Leaf. So I decided to drive out and meet her for lunch close to where she lived. But just before I was about to get to her, Nicola asked me to go and meet with Lady Brocklebank in her home in the UK. I thought, right, fuck it, let's get all this out of the way at the same time. So I collected Nicola from her flat in Surrey, and then I went on to Anna's home, parking on the street outside of a detached house. We were greeted by Anna's assistant, who then ushered us into the rear reception and then outside by the piano. Anna was wearing black leather skinny trousers, sunglasses, indoors, blonde hair pulled up into a knot top and neck laced with pearls. "Oh, hello, darling," began in a deep, plummy English accent. "I've been looking forward to meeting with you. Oh, do sit down and make yourself comfortable." She then led me into the conservatory where there were drinks waiting, and she started to examine me. She sat opposite the table. Nicola was sort of aside in a chair, and I sat across this table, like a dining table. Anna was sitting one side, and she just looked me in the eye and started examining me. It just felt like a cross between a doctor and a lawyer. All right, so I'm keeping up. Couldn't understand why Nicola was nodding at my every reply. It's obvious I was being tested. So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to play along. As I was playing along, Anna had a plastic bag in front of her, and inside was a load of business cards. "Oh, now let me see." She's flicking through them like fucking Dynamo, the magician. Bianca Jagger, she held out a card. "Interesting to your club, is she?" "Absolutely," I replied. She laughed. And I went flicking through. Again, another magic trick coming up. Sir Elton John Galliano. You know, the fashion designer. Yes, all amazing people. I'd love to have them in my club." She nodded at Nicola, smiled, turned to me. "Darren, forgive me. I suppose that you didn't know I was testing you there, was you?" "No, really, Anna? Fucking hell, you had me going there for a minute. Fucking hell, who are these people? Did I pass, Anna? Did I do quite well?" "You did do very well, Darren. I'm very pleased. Now let's have a photo together." "Oh, look, there's hubby." Our husband walked in. Like a fuck, he's been beating around the head with a fucking camera. Take a snap. He handed the camera. I handed him my phone. And I choreographed this strange position. I posted fucking strange position, sitting on the floor. I'm sitting down. She's sitting between my legs with her head on my lap. And there's a few people. It's just fucking strange one. I don't know what's been. "Having a blast with Darren, president of the exciting new home club." That's what she tweeted. "What a splendid afternoon. The home club sounds far too alluring to miss." Unquote. "Oh, fuck it. Lunch with Karen." I flew on. Raced up to meet with Karen. Got to the pub. As we walked in, killer. Little petite blonde. Beautiful. Fit. Stood up. "Hello, I'm Karen." Oh, fuck, I've finished. Okay. All right, Karen, let's sit down. She told me about her 3 sons. Told me about her life in Tiddington in Oxfordshire. Her history, and I had a little chat about mine. The PG stuff. PG rated stuff, of course. So I asked if she might be interested in becoming a brand ambassador for Wellbeing after Villa and Rick had jogged on. She agreed and said we'd catch up. We'd broached the subject of tennis, and she said, "Look, I really want to have a game with you. Sounds like a lot of fun. And what better to play in a club like yours?" I invited her to lunch at my place. And she came down, she had made arrangements with her children, drove down, we had lunch, we had a game of tennis, and she was good. She was really good. Played a great game, we had a great game together. And before too long, we were getting on. She's enjoying conversation, we both were. A little bit of tennis, and she left for home. As I say, too many events. Not too many, but yeah, too many really. There's a lot of events to go. And Daria had invited me, remember Daria, Tennis Daria, had invited me to her event at 12 Hay Hill Private Members Club in Mayfair. I hadn't been available for any tennis in the recent past due to other commitments with Daria, and if I continued at the same rate of practice with all the girls I was playing with, then who knows, I might be fucking having a go at the championships each summer. It's not that I was getting really good. I mean, with tennis, sometimes you're good, most of the time you're rubbish, and then you're kicking yourself for the rubbish ones and all that stuff. Every tennis player understands how it goes, or most do. I did. But I was playing a lot of tennis with a lot of women, and the waiter in there was pulling his hair out or banging his head on the wall, I don't know which. But anyway, as I walked in to Hale, Daria was there, smart, really nice. She was talking to her friends, and I caught her in the moment, natural in her business. As she looked over, she saw me walking in and excused herself from her friends immediately and came over to meet me with a kiss on the cheek, of course. In her broken Russian accent, she said, "I'm so pleased you're able to attend. It's all going to be a great event. I understand that His Excellency and the lawyer are also keen to make themselves known to you. That's one of the reasons I've invited you here. Take a seat, we're next to me, right at the front, and let's hear from His Excellency himself." We sat together and listened to Prince Rostislavovich Romanov, who was a member of the House of Romanov, a former Russian imperial dynasty. I listened intently. The prince chatted openly about his family and the effect on the Russian art during the Russian Revolution. As the invitation had promised, he was an intelligent, genuine, fun and likeable person. Yeah, we spoke for a while afterwards with a lawyer, and then I had to go on to another event on the yacht, London, where I'd agreed to meet with Michael. Just as I was about to walk, the prince inquired about the home club, asked if he could join, and that I referred to him as Rusty. A further interruption by Daria was a business card with Natasha Davies, who was also Russian, working in London as a lawyer. I said I'd meet with her again, and reminded Daria that I wouldn't leave it too long to play tennis with her again. I set off for Temple Pier on the London Embankment and a short distance from the River Thames to the London Eye, on the opposite side of the riverbank. As the Thames is a tidal river, it happened to be low when I arrived. The gangway to the deck of the yacht was steep, angling down towards the mud. I arrived and was greeted with Michael, who introduced me to his close friends and drinking partners, and it soon transpired that the reason for Michael inviting me to this event was to encourage my contacts to join membership for the Yacht London, which was fucking madness. Whilst, I appreciate that people that were going to be in the home club would, rough it on safari or some other place or adventurous excursion, the face value of decor, or let's call it rustic charm of the old boat, was much to be desired. Although I would not usually introduce such a venue to my contacts, I wanted to see how the people at the location behave, because look, it's about people, communities are about people. It wasn't going to be the boat that made it, although it was putting me off. It's about the people on the boat. So I thought I'd find out about them first before making any judgment. Now, in the main, it was a relaxed evening. Great views of the city, right on the River Thames, London Eye illuminated opposite, and then the evening wore on. The drinks, conversation, flowing, chatting, and I noticed someone wading into my peripheral vision. He was getting closer and closer by the second. If it wasn't for an outburst of, "Oh no, not that fucking idiot," from Michael behind me, I wouldn't have looked. But then Michael said to me, "Look, please forgive me. As you're about to meet with Mark from the TV show, Can't Pay, We'll Take It Away," or something like that. He looks like he's had a few too many as usual. Well, look, this is about debt collectors, this program or something. It's like a program monitoring how they go and take money off of people or threaten them or whatever else they're doing. And this was one of their top people. In my view, fucking wrong. So anyway, Michael was right. Mark was soon in my face. When I say in my face, that's a phrase used, but this fucking idiot was in my fucking face. And he was pissed out of his head, complaining about his wife. And then he asked me to go on land with him. He asked me to follow him. Michael stood up and I followed this Mark off the boat. You know that feeling, it felt like there was a fight about to take place, although most fights don't normally have a kind of lead up. Some do, some organised if that's what they want to do. This one, he was asking me to follow him off the boat. It felt like that something was going to go down. I was behind Mark and he swerved from side to side, but the boat was fucking completely stationary on the mud. It wasn't even moving. He was paralytic. He went down a staircase towards the gangway and he's holding a drink in his hand. Anyway, I come down behind him, met him at the beginning of the gangway, which by this time was almost level with the quay. As he turned, it's fucking hilarious. He tripped up and fell flat on his fucking face. Drink going everywhere, glass smashed. Michael and the security team from the boat all run over, calling down from the main deck, "Are you okay?" I looked up and replied, "Can't drink, take it away." Listen in to each episode as I engage you in my personal journey of how a boy growing up on a council estate in Essex would eventually own the most exclusive online private members club in the world.